9.2 Angle Classification. I can classify angles based upon their measures. For vocab, we have straight angles, acute angles, right angles, obtuse angles. Look those over. Most of you knew what those were already. Then we go to perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect that create four right angles. And intersecting lines. So we have just lines that cross each other that create special rules. And congruent, which means equal. And note the congruent symbol. Part 2, intersecting lines and special rules. Vertical angles is our special rule. So when you see vertical angles, you know that opposite angles are congruent. Congruent again means equal. So if we go down to our first example, we have angle 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we show that angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. And that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. And a way to remember which vertical angles are is remember that V vertical and V vertex. So they share their vertex, but they do not share any sides. So 4 and 2, they share that vertex. They don't share any sides. 1 and 3 share the vertex, but no sides. And then we went in to figure out if we know that angle 4 measures out to be 45 degrees, what would the measure of angle 2 be? And we figured that out because of vertical angles. So if angle 4 is 45 degrees, we know that angle 2 is 45 degrees as well because they're vertical angles, meaning they're going to measure to be the same. Then we went on to find what the measure of angle 3 was. And here you might want to go up to your helpful hints that we put in. And remember we said that a straight angle measures to be 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is here. 180 degrees is here. Sorry that the pen is choppy. And then we also said that when there's four angles, you also know that 180 and 180 equals 360. So you can think of it as 180 or you could think of it as 380, but remember with 180 there's less math that you have to do. So to find for angle 3, we did 180 minus 45, and that oh no, we didn't. We did 360 minus 90 because we added both of them together. We added the two 45s together, and that gave us, so 360 minus 90 is 270. Dividing that into 2 because we know that there are two angles left, and then we know that they're going to be congruent because they're vertical angles, which left us with 135 degrees for every angle. Or we could have just done 180 divided or minus 45, and that would give us 135 as well, making angle 3 135 degrees, which would also make angle 1 135 degrees as well because they're vertical angles. We did another example there, which you can look at on your own in your notes. And then our last one is we drew two intersecting lines, and we said what is true of all angles if angle A is perpendicular to angle B. And again, our hint is, remember, what does the definition of perpendicular mean? And it means that it creates four right angles. So we know that all of these angles are 90 degrees. And if we look at it as well, do they create vertical angles? Yes, they do, because if this angle here is 90 degrees. We look over, yep, that one's also 90 degrees. Let's look up here, is this one 90 degrees? Yes, and down here, again, yes, that is 90 degrees. Or look at the lines, 180, these two angles, 90 plus 90, that would add up to 180 degrees.